And we do want to acknowledge in the roll call, as we've had it inaccurately. Actually, Shaheem, should we share my screen?
Yeah, you can do that.
I'm going to do it from the HHA account that's on there. Can folks see that?
Yes, that looks good to me.
Yep.
Yeah.
I'll go ahead and take legal counsel off of there. Otherwise, I think we're in good shape with roll call for board members. Do we have to do that verbally?
Yes, you just go down the list. You just start at the top.
Gotcha. Ravonda Smith, chairperson.
Here.
Claire Cousins, vice chair.
Here.
Rebecca Wolf.
Here.
Marie Bell, treasurer.
Here.
Rebecca Borer.
Here.
Robert Davis.
Here.
And Anthony Bennett.
Here.
Thank you, everyone. First order of business is going to be update on the interim executive directors. And I will give a quick update since not everybody necessarily knows the current situation, which is that at the last meeting, we were operating under the auspices that there would be two co-interim directors, myself and Aisha Davey. And since then, it has become clear that Aisha Davey did not want to serve in that role fully, and so she will not be continuing on. Unfortunately, we do not have a letter of resignation or anything official, because essentially she never came on board formally. She never filled out the paperwork and never came on as an employee, so therefore did not have to resign. But it's unfortunate. We did work together for about a week and a half. And while we would love to know a little bit more about her reasoning or have a letter, we unfortunately don't have that. So moving on, I will be the sole interim executive director. I will say that it does not change my plans. I am still committing to do this job for a 6-month period. And my role will be switching a little bit, where I thought I was going to be helping to onboard Aisha, who would be looking at the position long-term. I will now be assisting the board in their search for a new interim director, long-term interim director. So I'm still going to be working in the same time frame, but I'm going to be shifting a little bit and helping with that search, because that will be an important thing to find that next director. And so it's certainly going to be, it's a change of plans, not what we all had hoped for, but we just have to roll with the punches, and we will start a new search and find the right long-term executive director for the housing authority. Do any board members have any questions about that? Marie?
I don't have any questions. I just have a couple comments on that. As we all know, it is the holiday time, and next month's meeting, I would like to form a subcommittee on an ED search. Nick's last day with us will be Friday, April 1st. We need to be able to have someone either come in before that or either starting that following Monday. So next month, we will really be focusing on forming a subcommittee for an ED search. And that's all I have to say on that.
Yeah, I just had a really quick question. Is there any talk about splitting it up, or which we had talked about initially, or is this just one person fulfilling the complete job?
So that's why I want to start the subcommittee, because I want all of us to be able to break things out and get information from Nick on how the job really is and what we do actually need. So this is what the subcommittee is totally going to do. We're going to be figuring out if it needs to be one, if it needs to be two, if we need to split it up, if we need to figure out everything. That's what we'll be doing in this subcommittee.
Does that answer your question, Marie? Was that? Okay.
So,
Any other-
absolutely. Yep.
Any other
Makes
questions?
sense.
I don't have a question about this. I'm just glad. I'm excited to get moving with this. Just wanted to say that. And thank you, Nick.
And yeah, I guess I'll just close it out by saying that it is a difficult situation. When I signed on for the 6-month time period, as I said, and I signed on for all that I could really do, which was about 15 to 20 hours a week. That's part-time position, and the idea was to assist and support Aisha as a prospective long-term interim director. But now I'm taking on all those responsibilities myself, which I can definitely say at this point, a month and a half in, that it absolutely should be a full-time position. Maybe in years to come, as everything gets in order, as RAG conversion kind of comes online more fully. It could be a part-time position, but for right now, I definitely feel like this is the next director needs to come into a full-time position. It's more than a full-time job, and it is going to be a lot to do in 20 hours a week and assist the board with that search. So I will be reaching out to board members for support over the next few months to make sure that we don't nothing falls through the cracks in that time. But I think we can do it. I've already gotten a lot of support from board members and the existing staff. So as I said, we'll just we'll keep moving along. So that's it for the update. In terms of moving into the regular meeting, we do need to approve our meeting minutes, which I think everyone should have. Linda sent it off, and the board should have gotten that email last week or the week before.
Yes, Linda did send it on December 7th, and I looked them over. Did everybody else get time?
Approve those meeting minutes?
Yeah, I was able to look them over. And thank you, Linda.
Yes, I looked over too.
I'll make the motion.
I'll second it.
Great.
And now,
All-
Nick, you say all in favor.
Right. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
And then you say any opposed.
Anyone opposed? Wonderful.
Motion passes.
Yeah. Um, Moving on, can I have a motion to approve the accounts payable for
I'd like-
November 2021?
I'll make a motion to approve accounts payable.
And Nick can also, I looked them over as well, but Nick can share it on his screen as well. If anybody wants to like scan it, please feel free to say that. Don't. Anybody feel free to say it. If you're comfortable with it, you looked it over.
I'm definitely comfortable with
Pull it
it.
up on screen if we need to.
Sorry,
Can you pull it up?
Nick, before you pull it up, I think there was some question in the past about whether or not we were able to actually post them up. And I just remember there being like some question mark last meeting. So I just wanted to throw that out there.
You mean whether it's okay to post them publicly?
Yeah, I think because there was a name or something at the last meeting. I just remember there being some question around that. So if anyone hasn't looked it over though, we can figure something out. But I'm fine with it. Do we need a motion? Or no, Marie made the motion. I'll second the motion.
All in favor?
Oh, yeah.
Aye.
No, sorry, I was looking at the all in favor. I was just thinking about that, about the question of confidential information. But I guess what we can do is, unless there's any issues, we need to look over, we won't put it up. We won't put it up right now, and then since we have legal counsel coming on, they can advise us on that process moving forward.
Yeah, that sounds good. We can do that.
All in favor?
Oh,
Aye.
Hi.
Anyone opposed? Great. Motion passes.
Nick, just a really quick point. I think the issue of confidentiality was really related to things like staff, benefits and pay. So I think it was primarily regarding that, which I guess is public information, but I think it was just I think that's all it was. It was names, keeping names out.
Yeah,
I think that this
the
is,
only issue is, since this is a government organization, all that theoretically is public, public information. But yeah, we'll go to council. You're absolutely right. That was a concern.
yeah, and I mean, it's been happening since I got on this board with Tim and all the names and everything else. And I mean, we had Mike Bruno. I would take a guess that it was safe, but like we said, we can always ask legal counsel, but it's been happening going on 2 years now for me.
So yeah, we'll put it to council, and we'll go from there as we bring them on. We have a few resolutions to vote on. And we'll pull them up. In order. First is a resolution adopting the 2021-2022 fiscal year operating budget. I can pull that up. I know that most of you all have at least been able to look at the original budget, which was put forth by the former director. And I've been working on this with our staff and with our fee accountant, Charlie and Leroy. And essentially, because I am an interim director, I really did not want to get too deeply involved and change too many things. But I really just wanted to understand the budget that Tim had put together and essentially make sure that the few things that I think may happen during my tenure here have enough money in there in those lines to pay for them. And those items are let me pull it up so we can look at it. As I kind of said in the last meeting, the big things that I think need to happen pretty quickly, we need to look at bringing online immediately, are a new pest control solution. Luckily, we have bids from a RFP that was put out, or at least I believe it was an RFP earlier this year. So we have a good option. We have a company who are maintenance company, our maintenance staff likes and thinks will provide the best service for the dollars. But it is a little bit more than our existing contract. And if you look at contracts and contract costs, we reviewed that total, and we do have enough money in that budget, given the costs we've already incurred and the full contract that they want to execute to bring on a new pest control company and basically do an overhaul of the entire building to help to really get a handle on both potential roach and bed bug issues. As you all know, that's a gigantic issue in the building, and that was one thing that I really wanted to look over. And what we can do the next, as we've spoken about, is security / resource officer for the building. And the good thing is that money was, in fact, in Tim's budget under protective services. You can see right below here. As you know, we're president for a small portion of that under a different title. But there's still enough money left in the budget to look at hiring on either a full-time person or multiple part-time people for the rest of the fiscal year to provide security services for the building. Does that make sense to everyone? I wonder what that, Shane, do you know what those green lines that just came on the screen are?
Yeah, if you're pressing anything on the screen, it could be doing it, or we got someone taking over the screen.
What happens? Interesting. Well, I guess we can still read other things. Marie?
Yeah, pardon me. I just have a quick question. I know that through the year, we were getting subsidies from HUD for vacant properties. And that was set to end at some point in the imminent future. And I'm wondering if that has ended or is about to end, and what the implications are when it does.
That's a great question, and I know that yes, that is a reimbursement from HUD. I'm not familiar. I don't know what the exact date is when that would extend to. But I do know that we went over that with Charlene, and supposedly it's accounted for in the budget and it's understood. But I guess I can get back to you on the details of that.
I mean, honestly, Nick,
but
I would be surprised if Tim hadn't included that in his budget, because this is something he's been talking about for some time. I just wanted to ask about.
No, it's a good question, and the only things that really came up as potential issues that have significantly changed since Tim put together the budget were the line items looking at the pilot from the IDA, I believe, which essentially is not happening right now. So it was budgeted for, but is kind of an entity, and the debt service payments on the loan, which is no longer relevant. And so what we did is we accounted for those, but then left the potential for those items to come back online with a new director. And so essentially you don't see much of a difference from this budget from what Tim put together. And then the other item is the salaries for 2021-22. And there is only a few small changes that you'll see. Well, I guess maybe I won't go into that, because again, that gets to the same issue of individual staff members and their salaries. But essentially, almost every employee is getting a raise under Tim's budget, with the exception of himself. And so the one thing that we did do is go through with the fee account and determine what a standard annual salary increase would be for an executive director. And we decided on 3%, which I think is actually a little bit below average for PHA executive directors. And we put that increase in there just to incentivize the position as much as possible for potential new executive directors. But I want to be absolutely clear that that does not give me a raise. It does not change my salary at all. That will just be for the new ED coming in. They will receive precisely 3% more than the outgoing previous executive director had. But otherwise, I'm keeping all of the raises that Tim had put into place exactly the same as his budget. So I know that people had questions about those, but those are all intact. I didn't change those at all. So essentially, this is it. Tim's budget with those small changes is identical to the one he put together in July. We have enough money to do all of the basically everything we want to do over the next 4.5 months while I'm here, and then the new director will be able to put together the budget for the following fiscal year, which will be soon after they come in. Are there any questions about the budget?
Nick, we're having a really hard time hearing you. I don't know if everybody else is, but
Really?
yeah, it's like muffled, kind of echoes. It's tough to hear you.
I think it's your microphone. But as with the budget, everything looks good to me. But if you have another microphone, maybe that would help.
The other computer, I have 2 computers up right now. Is that any better?
That's worse.
Worse?
Yeah, I think do you have like a headset you could plug in? That might be better.
Sorry, y'all. I was just struggling to sensory overload was kicking in.
What about?
That's a little better. It's echoing. You might have to turn your sound off, but
Is any better right now?
perfect.
That's way better.
That's perfect.
Oh, sorry. Okay. Just have to remember to keep looking at the screen with the video going, which is not the one with the mic, but that's okay. We can do it. Okay. Did folks feel like they understood enough of what I said to get a grasp of the budget?
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. And I just want to say thank you so much for taking the time out. I know you spent weeks with Charlene on this, and, you know, we truly appreciate everything that you're doing, everything you've done, and the budget looks great to me.
Ditto.
Great. So is, for resolutions, is it the same, all in favor, or is it a different process?
It's the same way.
All in favor
No,
of,
so somebody has to make the motion first,
oh,
and
sorry.
I'll make that motion.
I'll second it. Rebecca Bora.
All in favor of approving the operating budget for 2021-22?
Aye.
Aye.
Anyone oppose approving that budget? Motion passes. Resolution passes, motion passes.
Everything passed.
Resolution passes.
Wonderful. Let's move on to Resolution 520, which is a resolution approving the hiring of Whiteman, Osterman, and Hannah attorneys to represent Hudson Housing Authority. And what I will say about this is this firm responded to the solicitation that was put out in August by the former director. And for those who don't know, the board was unable to hire them on while there was not a director in place because the board has no authority to procure. And this is a formal procurement. And so while legal services were needed, the board was not able to move forward with that. And so we just had to do our due diligence. And luckily, Whiteman, Osterman, and Hannah have already represented the Housing Authority through our RAD conversion. And they have been very willing to answer as many questions as they can while not being illegal, while not actually representing us. But they seem like they're incredibly qualified and will be able to really hit the ground running. And what we did, again, I'm trying to kind of do everything with as much fairness to the new director who you all will be hiring in 2022. And so we basically developed a resolution which would bring them on for the extent of my my kind of term as executive director. And then that will have a small overlap, and the new director will be able to basically do a new solicitation. And if they want to bring on a new firm, they can do it, or they can continue with this firm. But we don't get into too long of a contract that ropes us in if the new director wants to work and else we're going a different direction. So that's essentially what we're looking at here. It's very exciting because it's been a real difficult process to be able to move forward with a lot of the initiatives that we've wanted to without legal counsel, and this will obviously get us that counsel. Any questions?
No questions. I'm just very excited to get legal counsel on.
Just to say same, and thank you so much. And I think this makes a lot of sense the way that you did the resolution.
Do we have a motion to
I'd like to
move
make
forward with
that
this
motion.
resolution?
I'd like to, sorry,
So Marie made a motion, I seconded, and
Yep.
third, if I can.
Perfect.
and fourth.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Yes, definitely.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Motion carries.
Woo.
And the third resolution is a resolution abolishing the position of health and safety coordinator. As many of you know, this was a position that was created during COVID as a means to increase compliance with mask wearing and other COVID-related issues. And now that the maintenance staff has, I feel like, I guess the board and the staff feel like have gotten a control of that. They no longer feel like this position is necessary. So this resolution would abolish that position from the Housing Authority. Are there any questions about this resolution?
I have a statement about it.
Okay, go ahead, Robert.
It's not that the staff or the maintenance was the ones that felt that it wasn't needed. And I'm going to call it as it is. I don't care who like it. But we have some people on the board that felt it wasn't necessary. When they stepped in and they became board members, this was something that they felt they wanted to change, which is cool. But don't put it on the maintenance or the staff, because they was not the ones that felt that way. They was happy to see things going the way they were going, actually. So I just have to say that, because I don't like for somebody to put more to something than it is.
I would say that that is the intent from the staff that I've heard. But what I would say before we go any further is if we are going to discuss this any further, because this will quickly get into talking directly about individual tenants and staff members, that we should go into executive session.
Well, I would hope we do that tonight. So I've been
You
waiting
would
for that.
you would hope that we do that tonight?
Yes, sir.
Okay, then I'm going to make a motion to go into executive session to discuss staffing and tenant relations. Tom, you have you're saying bye.
I'm going to second that motion to go into executive session.
Okay.
So I think Shaheen would now have to put the guest in a waiting room and only let the board on. Right, Shaheen? Is that what you have to do?
Looks like he's doing it.
Oh, okay.
Except, oh yeah, Anthony's still on. Great. And so then do you then step out, Shaheem, and then we get you back in somehow?
So I made Rebecca the host, if she doesn't mind.
Yeah, that's fine with me.
And then you could just stop the live streaming and put me in the waiting room and let us back in when you're ready.
Okay.
And then I just admit everyone. Okay, great. Hold on. So let me put you in the waiting room.
Rebecca, can you
Oh, wait. And so, wait, if Linda's not here, I guess that, I don't know.
Well, we
Okay.
can't take minutes on the executive session anyway, right?